Oh, goody.
Alright, what's going on everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So in this one, I wanted to talk about what you want to spend your collector's tokens on. I have a feeling this is going to be one of the most popular asked questions when the new update hits shortly. And I think there is really one main answer to this question, though I don't think it's what everybody is going to want to hear as the answer, but I think it is really the correct one. And generally what that answer is you probably should not spend your tokens right away, though there are some exceptions to that rule. Let's talk about why I think this is the case. So if we look at the information we have here, we can see the amount of tokens that you will need for a card in each series or pool. So Pool 3 cards are 1,000 tokens, Pool 4 cards are 3,000, Pool 5 is 6,000. Now, you also get a gift to get you started. I'm going to focus on the two lower numbers here, as those are where the majority of players will find themselves typically, as 3,000 plus collection level is probably an outlier that consists of mostly beta players, though I think it might be possible to have gotten to 3,000 if you've spent money like a lot most of the days since launch. I haven't done the exact math on that, but I think it is technically possible, but is going to be a very small subset of players. So we're going to focus on the two lower rewards here. So 500 to 999 collection level, you get 3,000 tokens. 1,000 to 29.99 gets you 6,000 tokens. If you happen to be someone who got over 3,000, you get 12,000 tokens. So talking about the lower numbers here, 3,000 tokens for that first milestone. Now it is worth noting, if you are a brand new player and you are not at 500 yet, you don't have to worry too much, as apparently you will get these 3,000 tokens whenever you hit 500, even if you don't have it at the time of the update. Now that is not the case if you are going for a higher bracket here. Say you're trying to get to 1,000 or 3,000 before the update. If you get it after the update, you aren't going to get that kind of back pay. So in some instances, if you're really close to hitting that milestone, whether it be 1,000 or 3,000, it might be smart of you not to update the game right away. There's usually a grace period of, I believe, 2 to 7 days before they actually force you to update the game. And it has been confirmed if you do not update the game, you can still gain your collection level progress. And when you do update, it'll then look at that number to determine how many tokens you're getting. So a little trick there if you are close to one of the milestones but not there quite yet and are worried you aren't going to hit it before the update arrives. So talking about what we should do with our tokens here, I think the smartest thing to do with your tokens is going to be hold on to them. Now there are some exceptions to this rule. I do think if there's a card in Series 3, especially if you're not very far in Series 3, that you really want, or you're missing one key piece for either a strong deck or a deck you just know you want to play and you plan on playing a lot, I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea to buy a Series 3 card. That being said, should you use your tokens to try and fill out the best cards you want from Season 3, so you have a variety of Season 3 decks? In my opinion, no, you should not do that. And the main reason for that is how much more expensive Series 4 and Series 5 cards are, being 3 times to 6 times the price. And it doesn't seem like collector's tokens in their current form are going to be an overly plentiful resource. So you really want to make the most out of these 3,000 or 6,000 you get gifted, as it's going to take a long time to build that number back up. So I think personally, especially looking at some of the Series 4 and Series 5 cards that they've already shown, and knowing that they are going to be implementing even more of them over time in the not too distant future, I think it's a lot smarter to save for Series 4 and Series 5 cards. Because if one of those cards is very impactful, or it ends up being a key piece of a deck you want to play, it is going to be very hard to get that card, even if you're just saving up. And the odds of you pulling, whatever Series 3 card you want randomly is a lot higher than the odds of you pulling a random Series 4 or Series 5 card. So I think those are the ones you really want to use your tokens on. Now, optimally, you would want to save for when the Series 5 cards go down in cost into Series 4. but we don't really know the timetable on that right now. We don't know if that's going to be a month, 2 months, multiple months. They haven't really given us details on that yet, so the information surrounding that will probably depend. But if you are a full free-to-play player, I think it's really smart to just wait, hold your tokens, and wait for things to go down in cost so you get the most bang for your buck, especially out of this currency that probably is going to take a while to generate more of. So I think you want to get the biggest mileage you can out of this initial amount they are gifting to everybody. Other than that, basically, if there's one deck you really want to play and you happen to get the one card you're missing in the shop and it's a Series 3 card, I think it's not terrible to spend 1,000 tokens on it, but I wouldn't spend 1,000 tokens willy-nilly just trying to get cards to build multiple archetypes. I'd really only spend it if you're missing maybe 1, maybe 2 at most, but even then I think that's kind of pushing it. Key cards that you don't expect to be getting in the near future, especially if you've had bad luck in Pool 3 and you haven't really got the tools to make a super powerful deck yet. Obviously, you know, everyone's going to do this a little bit differently, and I'm sure there are going to be people who spend all their tokens on Series 3 cards, and that's fine, but I do think it is worth being aware that because of how rare these Series 4 and Series 5 cards are, if they do end up having a bigger impact on the game to where higher tier decks require them, then you're definitely going to feel bad if you spend all your tokens and aren't able to acquire these popular meta cards. So definitely interesting. I'm very curious to what people think of the token system and all that. It's great to have some agency, but I do think there is still more work that needs to be done in order to have this system really reach its full potential, whether that be giving us a more direct time frame on how long cards stay Series 5 before they drop down, whether that involves some other ways for us to earn these collector tokens that seem kind of rare in their current form. I think there's a lot of ways that this can be improved, though it is a nice step in the right direction towards enabling more player agency in getting the cards that they want. But ultimately, the big lesson I hope you take away from this is wait and see what happens. We don't know, you know, are the top decks currently going to stay as they are, because there are also balance changes coming that could totally shake that up. It's always really hard to tell exactly what impact these new cards are going to have. Some could be really powerful and make top tier decks, others maybe not so much. So I think you want to let someone else kind of bite the bullet, buy these kind of expensive cards, play around with it, see what happens, see how it kind of plays out before you invest your resources. And I think that is especially true if you are a free-to-play player, or even just someone who only buys the season pass every month. Yeah, that is going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.